really understood it. So after years of reading about this conflict and looking at it on a map, I came. I met up with some friends who were also traveling in this region and who also wanted to learn, to expand their perspectives on this poorly understood conflict. So you say the island is divided, but what are the waters? To understand that you have to look at the map. Even though the country of Cyprus is a member of the EU and their flag literally has an island on it, has the entire island, the Republic of Cyprus actually looks like this. It only takes up 60% of the actual island. It's made up of mostly people who identify as Greek. So this is it. This is the country of Cyprus. Only controls this portion of the island. It's just 60% of the island.
Wait, okay, so that's not the whole island. What is the remaining portion? The remaining 40% is complicated. First off, you have a small fraction of this island that is controlled by, wait for it, the British. The British. Yes, you guessed it.
I saw that coming.
Yes, didn't we all? The British. They mainly use it for military purposes. And then you have this strip right here that is owned by no country. This is controlled by the United Nations. It's a buffer zone, a ceasefire line set up in the 60s and 70s to stop fighting. Now the elephant in the room here, which is the rest of this map. All of this up here is controlled by the self-declared Turkish Republic of Northern Cyprus. According to the UN and to almost every other country, this space is not a country. It's a self-declared country that is occupying half of this island almost. But if you go to this place, it feels like a country. It has like a government that builds roads and infrastructure and has political parties and elections. So
So it is a country.
It's kind of a country.
How can you be kind of a country?
This land up here is occupied because there was an invasion in the 70s. And at that time, Greeks and Turks had to separate. They left their homes completely empty, thinking maybe they would come back, but they never did.
As the Turks advance, the number of Greek Cypriot refugees pouring into the Dikalia base is growing rapidly.
There's this city in what is now the occupied North that used to be this beautiful resort town. Over, we'll come back. And they never did. It's been 47 years, and they have not gone back. They left their homes, they left food in their refrigerators, they left their pictures, their jewelry just in their homes. I met a guy who left that day. He was 33. He took his 2 children, and they drove. And after months of talking to the Turkish military, we got permission to go back with him to visit his old home and to talk about that experience.
Should doing. Sweetie Terrell. Pain trip. Me shepherding. Esplanade. Babe.
Wait, how could this city
Then for
possibly
her
go from
foolish
idyllic
rocker.
resort to ghost
Greek
town?
Poshima?
That
Oh,
is the question
well.
I've been thinking about for a lot of years now. And to understand it, it really helps to go back. The first thing to know, the context of this island is that everyone wanted it, always. This place is located so perfectly in the Mediterranean, at the crossroads of Europe and the Middle East and Northern Africa, that it is so perfectly strategically located. Everyone wanted it. It was the Persians and Alexander the Great, and then of course the Romans show up with their Jesus religion and do that thing. You get the point. Like, Cyprus was just a strategic pawn being conquered and ruled by one empire after another for literally thousands of years. And that gets us up to 500 years ago, which is closer to the root of today's conflict. When the empire from Turkey, the Ottoman Empire, came over, they threw out the current empire, which is the Venetians, and they came in. They're like, the Ottoman Empire now rules Cyprus.
Philibok?
So I don't mean to interrupt because this is all fascinating, but I have always had the question of whether turkey is named after the bird or if it's the other way around. And this is just something that's bugged me forever, and I figured I'd ask you.
I mean, we were talking about like the conquering of this land, but we can talk about turkeys for a little bit. So the answer to that is Turkey, the bird, is definitely named after Turkey, the empire. Okay? The way that it works is that Turkic people used to bring this bird into Europe and sell it, and they would buy it and they would call it a turkey fowl. Oh, there's like this turkey fowl, it's this bird from Turkey. When Europeans arrived to North America and they saw what we call turkeys today, they're like, oh, that looks just like the turkey fowl from like back in Europe. The Turks used to bring over. Let's call it a turkey, even though it's totally the Turks are bringing over, and that's how we got the turkeys. So the thing you eat for Thanksgiving or whatever is like named after turkey.
So not that dumb of a question.
Okay, do you feel satisfied with your turkey answer? Because we can move on about the point of the video, which is about like how the island was divided into four. Or do you want to keep talking about turkeys? Because I can talk about turkeys like all day.
No, I think it's okay. Yeah,
Okay,
you go
you're
first.
satisfied?
Thanks
Okay.
for taking the time.
Sanoosh Maboon, Varric, Bachor, Sycophus.
Okay, so we're at the point where the Ottoman Empire, the Turkey Empire, is Cyprus, okay? And this is where Turkic people arrive to this island. And they find mostly Greek people. Greek Christians, Turkic Muslims.
You been one, G.
And yet, over the years, they made a harmonious society together where they lived next to each other in the same villages and towns in peace. Let's get to modern day, because it's like the late 1800s, Ottoman Empire crumbling, like super crumbling. And who is the new kid on the block that is not crumbling but is rising? British.
Gababooni Hish.
Simbab Kriko.
Turnoy.
Surprising to me that the next part of the story is the British coming into a place, but why would they want this specific island? There's particularly this one little strip of water that made all the difference. The Suez Canal was this new man-made canal that cut the time to India like in half. Like it was so much easier to get to India, one of their major colonies. And Britain was like, we need to control that, and Cyprus is right there next to the Suez Canal. Like, it's a perfect lily pad for us.
But the great importance of Cyprus can be seen from the map. Importance of life.
Wait, what are macromolecules again? Download the Google app for some extra help. Just tap the camera icon, choose homework, and see a quick refresher. Get homework help when you need it. Download the Google app today.
Skeins in a bread.
The Mediterranean has become a strategic center in the Middle East zone of this world war.
So this is the big turning point of the story. The British own Cyprus. It is one of their colonies, and they're doing what the British do well, which is like they're making maps, they're doing demographics, and they're like, oh, you are Turkish Muslims, and you are Greek Christians, and they're like separating people by like identity, just sort of on paper. The people who've been living here for thousands of years and being conquered by every empire you can imagine finally start to get fed up with it.
One British army truck is bombed, killing 2 soldiers and wounding 12.
By the 1950s, Cypriots